The more and more J.K. Rowling speaks, the more and more I just love her. I really do. And anyway, it's just so hilarious. You know about the interview that Emma Watson did, and the thing is, she tried to be, oh, I'm still friends with J.K. Rowling. It's just that I can agree to disagree. Well, the thing is, you didn't agree to disagree. What you did was you jumped on a bandwagon with, you jumped on a bandwagon with Me Too and the LGBT community. You know you did, and everyone else knows you did, and you spewed out bullshit which had no merit and no evidence behind it proving it true. And the thing is, and the thing is, you just proved J.K. Rowling's point. You proved J.K. Rowling's point because the thing is, everything J.K. Rowling said was um, nothing but truthful. It was based on nothing but facts. And I give J.K. Rowling so much credit for taking the bullshit that she did because the thing is, she suffered death threats and boycotting people boycotting her, and she just stayed firm, and and she wasn't going to waver. And I gives J.K. Rowling so much credit for not wavering. Anyway, I'm reading from the Hollywood Reporter. The title is J.K. Rowling brands Emma Watson ignorant in lengthy post defending anti-trans stance. She has so little experience of real life. 100%. You need to understand Emma Watson grew up rich and grew up privileged. She does not know the meaning of the word. She does not know the meaning of the word struggling. She has never struggled. Anyway, um, okay. Harry Potter creator J.K. Rowling has hit out at Emma Watson in a lengthy statement on X, saying she has so little experience of real life. She's ignorant. She's ignorant of her own ignorance. She is. Um, yeah, she's pretty. That's what it is. She has no idea how stupid and out of touch Emma Watson sounds. Emma Watson sounds like she's just so out of touch that she doesn't have any clue. And well, Watson, who famously played Hermione Granger, I think that's the name of it. I've never watched the Harry Potter films, so in the film adaptations of Rowling's books, recently starred on a podcast with Jay Shetty, where she voiced her deepest wish that she be permitted to separate her relationship with the author from their opposing views on trans rights. That's too late now, because the thing is, you started all this shit. You jumped on a bandwagon on which you had no information from. All you did was you did what your masters told you, and guess what? You got hung out to dry, and you did willingly so. And she never apologized about any of it, and I guarantee she still won't apologize about any of it whatsoever. Rowling, a staunch advocate for anti-trans policies in the UK, and also a staunch advocate for women's rights as well. You know about protecting privacy for women. I mean, which I'm in agree with, because the thing is, I mean, I remember when I was at school, I never questioned about, oh, wait a minute, why can't we go in the girls' toilets for? I never questioned that whatsoever, because I know why we're not allowed in there. We're not supposed to be in there. And now you got these sick people these trans people, where all they are, they're just nothing but perverts. So just, and I just want to grow up kids, and that, you know what I'm talking about. Has regularly come under fire for her transphobia. She is not transphobia whatsoever. No, she isn't. A trans is just a made up word, and it just made up feelings. That's all it is. And all she's doing is just protecting women's rights. That's all she's doing. Nothing wrong with it. She has often been publicly criticised over her politics in recent years, notably by the main trio of Watson, Daniel Radcliffe, and Rupert Grint, who have expressed support for the trans community. I'd like to ask them three, doing all this, what the hell did it do for your careers? For your film, TV careers, did it do anything? Because it doesn't seem like it did anything. I mean, Emma Watson hasn't come in anything major. Neither has Daniel Radcliffe, and neither has Rupert Grint. So really, what was the point of doing all this shit? It didn't amount to fuck all. But some were surprised to see Watson make some neutral comments last week. She told Shetty, "I will never believe that one negates the other, and that my experience of that person. You don't have experience of the real world. Just be honest. I don't get to keep and cherish to come back to our earlier thing. I just don't think these things are either or. These things are either or. It's my deepest wish that people who don't agree with my opinion will love me, and I hope I can keep loving who I don't necessarily share the same opinion with." Do you know what could have fixed this way before? When J.K. Rowling had her stance, Emma Watson could be classy about it and just said, "You know what? I respect J.K. Rowling so much. I consider her a friend, and she has the right to her opinion and whatever she believes in. I just don't agree with it." That's all she could have said. Bang, and this wouldn't have been an issue. But no, 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 no. Emma Watson had to be a fucking idiot. And before people say to me, "Oh well, she's just a kid," she's not a kid anymore, and she wasn't a kid when she made that. When she decided to jump on the LGBTQ bandwagon. No, she wasn't. She was a woman. She knew what she was doing. However, Rowling swiftly used the interview as a social media ammo and poked fun at Watson, rightfully so. She responded to a clip by comedian Antel Lady who made a spoof video out of Watson's comments. Rowling said on X, "I'm already missing Antel Lady's Angela Rayner, but I'm here for all the spoofs." On Monday, Rowling clarified her stance further. The writer again took to X and said, "I'm not owed internal agreement from any actor who once played a character I created. The idea is as ludicrous as me checking with the boss I had when I was 21 for what opinions I should hold these days." Emma Watson and her co-stars have every right to embrace gender identity ideology. Such beliefs are legally protected, and I wouldn't want to see any of them threatened with loss of work or violence or death because of them. Look at that. She wouldn't wish the same shit that she had to go through, what they did to her, and yet she's being classy about it. And for some reason, people are still saying, "Oh, J.K. Rowling is a hater." No, no, no. J.K. Rowling is not the problem here whatsoever, because she's saying that Emma Watson has the right to believe what she wants to believe, and I wouldn't want her to be threatened with her life, with violence or so forth. This is what I love about J.K. Rowling. However, she continued, Emma and Daniel Radcliffe in particular have both made it clear over the last few years that they think our former professional association gives them a particular right, um, obligation to critique me and my views in public. She said the pair have continued to assume the role of de facto spokespeople for the world I created years after Harry Potter drew to a close. No, no, no. The person who should be the spokesperson for Harry Potter is the creator themselves, and that's J.K. Rowling. "When you've known people since they were 10 years old, it's hard to shake a certain protectiveness," said Rowling, who explained it wasn't until quite recently that she managed to throw off the memory of children who needed to be gently coaxed through their dialogue in a big scary film studio. Rowling went on to say that over the years she had repeatedly declined invitations from journalists to comment on Emma specifically at the height of the death, rape, and torture threats thrown at Rowling. She added, "Emma asked someone to pass on a handwritten note from her to me, which contained the single sentence, 'I'm sorry for what you're going through.' The author um, the author created this statement with the claim that Watson has her phone number." There you go. If Emma Watson has J.K. Rowling's phone number, why didn't she personally ring her herself? No, no, no. She didn't. She didn't do that. All she gives a shit about is her career. She doesn't care about her friendship with J.K. Rowling whatsoever. Emma Watson doesn't. She wants to get work, and work is drying up. This reminds me of Rachel Zegler and Brie Larson. That's what Emma Watson is going to end up turning into being. She's going to become that, and no one's gonna hire her for work. And later on in the post, Rowling also said Watson has so little experience of real life. She's ignorant of her ignorant she is. I wasn't a multimillionaire at 14, she continued. I lived in poverty while writing the book that made Emma famous. Exactly. She wasn't just living in poverty while writing the book that made Emma Watson famous. She also suffered domestic abuse, and also and obviously you with that suffered mental illness as well. So the thing is, I mean, she's pretty much the one of the examples of she came from poor and made it rich through hard work, through trials and tribulations. And J.K. Rowling is she should be celebrated more. Honestly, she'll never need homeless shelter, said the author about the Little Women star, who went on to defend her anti-trans beliefs. She's never going to be placed on a mixed-sex public hospital ward. I'd be astonished if she's been in a high street changing room since childhood. Her public bathroom is single occupancy and comes with a security man standing guard outside the door. Has she had to strip off in a newly mixed sex changing room at a council run swimming pool? The post ended with, "The greatest irony here is that Emma had Emma not decided in her most recent interview to declare that she loves and treasures me, a change of tact I suspect she adopted because she noticed full throttle condemnation on me is no longer quite as fashionable as it was." See, that's the thing with politics involving LGBT trans rights. It goes in waves. It just goes in waves. It ain't gonna stay the way as you think it's going to. It just won't. It's just the same with politics. Politics moves in waves, and that was Emma Watson's flaw. That's what and she was so stupid not to understand that. And the irony is, she was so stupid about not understanding that. She was educated at Oxford. Look at that. Um, because she's noticed a full throttle condemnation on me is no longer quite as fashionable as it was. I might never have been dishonest, said Rowling. Emma is rightfully free to disagree with me and indeed to discuss her feelings about me in public, but I have the same right. There you go, freedom of speech. Freedom of speech goes both ways. While both people can disagree with can disagree with each other, but if you want to be regarded as an adult, act like an adult the way how you do it. It's the way how you go about it. But I have the same right, and I finally decided to exercise it. Watson received backlash herself for the comments she made on Shetty's podcast. One user earned 13,000 likes on a post on X that read, "Saying you can still love Rowling while she openly attacks trans people just shows you are insulated from the damage she causes. That's not grace. That is it is privilege. 100%. She's still in denial. Emma Watson is. So is Daniel Radcliffe, and so is Rupert Grint. And as I said in the middle of this video, them three are gonna have them three are not gonna have any work, well, any meaningful work in the future. Daniel Radcliffe is not going to be in any big studio films anymore whatsoever. You know that for a fact. So that's what I'm saying. They're going to get all this hate, and J.K. Rowling is going to come away stronger than ever, and rightfully so, deservedly so. Anyway, thanks for watching, and please like, comment, subscribe, and let me know in the comments of what you think about J.K. Rowling, about everything she had to go through, because then it was not needed. It really wasn't. And please like, comment, subscribe, and you can and my links are in my YouTube bio. I'm obviously on YouTube. I'm on Rumble. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm on X, and you could donate to me on PayPal as well. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.